What is going on, guys? Thanks for tuning into the channel, bringing you some Space Marine 2 PvP gameplay. Now, over the last couple days during the early access period, I have been playing a ton of this game, and I absolutely love it. That includes the PvP. Now, for the longest time leading up to the release of Space Marine 2, there wasn't too much information on whether PvP was even going to be a thing, what was going to be included in it. We were kind of left in the dark until, the final weeks leading up to the game's release. And now that the PvP is here, I have a lot of thoughts on it. First of all, it is a ton of fun. It's an absolute blast. If you grew up playing like Gears of War, you're going to have a really fun time with this game's PvP mode. It is just a lot of fun. It's very simple, very basic, but at its core, it is just from its like second to second gameplay. It's just a lot of fun, and at the end of the day, that's the most important thing. However, it is very, very bare bones, and there is not much here when it comes to the PvP. It's clear that the focus was on the game's campaign and its co-op mode operations, which I agree is definitely where the focus should have been. No doubt about that. That's where the replayability is for a lot of people, and that's where the game's focus definitely was, with the hordes of Tyranids and chaos. That's where the game shines the best. But you know what? The PvP is just... there's so much potential here, and in this video I kind of just wanted to go over the pros and cons, whether you should put some time into it, and what Saber Interactive needs to do to make sure that the PvP stays around for a little while. That way we can get the most out of this game mode over the next year or two that the game will likely be supported by. So sit back, relax, grab something to drink, something to eat. We're gonna kill some Chaos Space Marines, or maybe the other way around, if you're on the Chaos side. We got a lot to talk about when it comes to the PvP. So let's talk pros. First of all, pros, again, it is just a ton of fun. The second-to-second combat is just fantastic. Each of the 6 classes have a really kind of nice place in terms of the PvP environment. They all have their own strengths, and they do bring something to the table. You can't have a full team of all heavies or all tacticals or assaults or whatever the case is. You could have 2 per class, and there are 6 teammates on each team. So you're not going to have a full squad of 2 of each class. So sometimes you get a match, you got 2 heavies, 2 vanguards and 2 snipers, or maybe you got 1 of each. So team comps, they can really range from all over the place, and depending on the game mode, maybe you may want to have more class over another. I've been rocking a lot of the heavy class, both in PvE and PvP. It's definitely my favorite class, and in PvP it definitely shines a lot as well. Can really just tear down enemies. If you get a surprise drop on them with the bolt gun, you could just rain down so much fire and just kill a bunch of guys all at once. Really good at holding down an area for defensive objectives and stuff like that. So it's just a really fun class. But then you have, like, let's say the Bulwark, which is primarily a melee based class, rocking a sword and shield. Also very good, very defensive style kind of class, very tanky, can absorb a lot of the bullets from the enemy team, so that the other so your teammates can kind of get the drop on the enemy while they're distracted, hold down objectives as well. You have Sniper, which can cloak themselves, go around, flank the enemy. A lot of different ways you could play, and each of the classes are very fun and have a place in the PvP. And that's really important. There are a ton of guns for each of the classes, just like in the PvE, so you do have a lot to work toward, and the more matches you win, the more matches you play, you'll obviously level up those classes, unlock new weapons that they can use, and it's not going to take too much time, but the progression is separate between the PvE and the PvP in terms of weapons and stuff that you will unlock for your classes, so do just keep that in mind. So as you can see here, we are playing as one of the Heretic Astartes. When you load into a match, you will get put onto either the Space Marines or the Heretics. You don't really get to choose, and you do get to customize a little bit of the Chaos Space Marines, but just nowhere near as much as your regular Adeptus Astartes. It's actually pretty crazy how in-depth the customization is. You can pretty much customize every single assets and of your Space Marine, from the color and the armor pieces, the emblems, it's crazy. I love games that allow you to really go crazy when it comes to customizing how your character looks. And Space Marine definitely fulfills that fantasy. And for a lot of us, the miniatures are just way too expensive. So this is kind of like painting your own Space Marine. And it's a lot of fun. I do really like that. And I did used to collect the miniatures back in high school, but it's a very expensive hobby. So this is your next best choice if you don't have the money to shell out for these miniatures that Games Workshop makes for Warhammer 40k, because again, they are very expensive. The maps are very well designed. I think they look great. Again, they do have that Gears of War feel. They're not too big. They're like small to medium-sized maps, and there's definitely choke points and areas that you're going to learn, or definitely hot spots for where battles are going to take place. It feels like Gears. It doesn't have that shotgun spam and the cover-based mechanics, which I really like. It's a little bit more traditional. The time to kill isn't too fast. It's not too slow. There is plenty of room to kind of turn the tables if you get the drop. If an enemy gets a drop on you, the skilled player can actually turn things around. Also, depending on the class that you are, you do have your abilities and stuff like that. So there is a lot here to like, and if they do stick with it, we might actually have something that will last for, a couple years. But that's where we get into one of the first major downsides, is that there is only 3 maps. I know, it's absolutely crazy. I thought I was going nuts when I was playing the game and I kept getting the same 3 maps. I'm like, man, where are the rest of these maps? There is none. There is only 3 maps launched with the PvP mode. Now again, I know that the PvP is not the focus of this game. All of the kind of like effort really went into the campaign and the co-op modes, and that's totally okay. That's where I think that the focus should go. But only having 3 maps for the PvP mode, something that a lot of people, myself included, were very, very excited for, just means that the PvP is going to die very quickly unless they can pump out maps at a consistent pace. There should have been at least 5 to 6 maps at launch, and then maybe add 1 PvP map per season, so that we end up with somewhere around 8 when the game is finally done being supported. Pretty crazy stuff. There have also been a ton of server issues, but honestly, that's not so much a big deal. That's kind of like your normal launch day woes when it comes to these types of games. And over the last day or two, it's actually already improved quite a bit. The first day, the first like early access day into the second day, so it'd be like Thursday and Friday, it was very hard to get into a match, and the kind of just server stability was pretty bad. But I've been playing Saturday and today, and it's already improved quite a bit, but I imagine on the official launch day, we're also going to kind of see that crop back up again. So do keep that in mind, but they are aware of it, and they said it's going to be in the first patch. So that's really not too much of a big deal. I'm more concerned with the content side of things when it comes to the PvP, because it's so much fun. There's so much potential here, and if we only get like 2 more maps, 2 to 3 maps, it's gonna be rough. It's the second combat is so much fun, but there's only so much that can do. If there's like no game modes, there's only 3 game modes, so they definitely got to add some more there. They can absolutely do that. We definitely need more maps, some more classes, and another feature that I think would really help is a ranked mode. I don't think we're going to get that. If we do, that will be pretty crazy. So there's no ranked mode. But another thing is that there isn't even any sort of player stats page, so you can see your kill-death ratio, your win-loss ratio, how long you've played as each class, how many times you've used an ability, just all the cool little numbers and things that a lot of people like to see when they put time into a multiplayer game, just isn't there. So if they can get a player stats screen, I think that'll be one of the first things they should probably do. And then they can start adding more maps, which they already said they are going to do. There is a roadmap that is going to have PvP maps on there, which is great. It's just how often is this going to happen? How frequently are we going to get new PvP maps? So at the end of the day, Is the PvP worth playing? Absolutely. It is so much fun. I can't stress that enough. I've just been having a blast, but there needs to be more content if they want it to last. You know, the 3 maps right now, it's gonna do it for the next couple months, but people can only play on those same 3 maps for so long before they start to go crazy. So hopefully they do listen to the community and they put a little bit more content in the PvP side of things. And if they do, I think we'll be in a good spot. But I hope this video helped. If it did, leave a like and a sub. Really helps me out. Till the next one, guys. Peace out.